What is up, mi gente? It's the NYC Forever podcast. We are back, week 7. Boy, was it a match day to forget?
Listen, we out here in the late Monday morning hours.
It's Monday
It-
morning. Early Monday morning, late Sunday night.
Monday morning.
Feel like I gotta
Uh,
get my Barry White voice. Hello.
uh-huh. Here in New York City, the 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 deep state of
Yeah, the deep the deep state of what's his name? Our mayor. Oh,
Adams. We're Eric Adams hours right now. He's
yeah.
probably doing he's doing freaky things right now.
Yeah, he's at Far Rock with his shorties.
I got a shorty at Fort Rock. Yeah. So does Dave.
Oh,
So
the
does
it's worse. They had a show and then turned out
he
to
married
be
her.
exactly.
He married it. He married
And now she's a homie. Shouts to you. Man,
And
they couldn't be with us this week.
he's out on
As
assignment out in Las Vegas, is it?
yes,
This guy, I ain't gonna lie, man. For work trips, business trips, he does go to some pretty cool places.
hey man, when you in that creative life, you gotta go to some dope
He
spots.
does go to some was it Yellowstone before a few weeks back. Now he's in Las Vegas. He's gone to other pretty cool cities.
He
Obviously,
also
it's all work.
a lot of West Coast.
Oh, a lot of work related. It's all work related. Like, who knows how much time he actually gets to do leisure stuff. But when you're in Sin City, it's like,
I
you
know.
know,
I saw a post. He went to Tacos El Gordo. I was
yeah.
like, that al pastor is just
The pastor.
yeah, the pastor.
I had
Uh,
when I went there last, I had the carne asada fries.
oh, I didn't have that. I didn't see that on the menu. I was just fixated on like which taco. I wanted to make the right choice.
I'll tell you this much: the carne asada fries were good, not great, only because the fries themselves, the physical potato fries,
Yeah. Okay.
was underwhelming.
Ooh.
Yeah, it killed the whole platter because the fries weren't that good.
People always say like you can't fuck up something, and fries tends to be one of those things. You can really fuck up fry. Like if the potato's bad, like if that really just like like
Yeah, like
I
undercooked potatoes is no good. Soggy potatoes are no good.
yeah.
You could burn the potato. You could burn fries easily, bro. You could
Yo,
you eat fries 10 seconds more than you supposed to. They burnt crunchy fries.
if you have a restaurant, if you listen out here or watching this, and you work at a restaurant, take it
Mhm.
from two very experienced consumers of foods.
Big backs.
When you
Like we didn't get this way
we
by
this is
eating,
athletes put in work. We put in the
salads.
hours. We put in the
By eating
hours.
salads 3 times a day. All right? We
Yeah,
got high cholesterol. That didn't happen overnight.
that didn't happen overnight. Those are years of experience.
Years of
Yo,
cholesterizing.
fries. When you deliver fries, I had this conversation at work the other day. No, please do not put it in a tin foil with the cover, because then it just steams up, and then you get the most soggy taste.
You gotta poke the hole
You got a
in the covers.
cardboard box and with some holes. That's all you need. That's it.
Mm.
As long as they're not
That's
saucy,
why when you
obviously.
get the Chinese food rice, the chicken and french fries,
Yeah,
the fries just be like more chicken.
crazy.
It just tastes like the chicken. It's just
All
like
the greases
it's
just together.
it's the same oil. It's just like dripping. It's this nothing.
Oh man,
You remember school fries? Like the crinkle
the wavy
fries?
one. Yeah, crinkle. Yeah, wavy ones. Yeah,
It they was those were just nuked, right? They were just like microwave, right?
son.
Like or an oven or
Actually,
something,
I always thought they came in those big red bags.
and they
They-
just microwaved it.
yeah, they
They
just
just
dumped them, and then
Yeah, I
that's
feel like
it.
they just microwaved it. There was no way those were fried on that day of serving. There's no way.
Uh, School lunches were horrible, bro.
You know what? We made it,
I know.
and that's why we're the size.
And that's what it is.
You would go to the what was that thing called where you like in high
They
school
gave us
especially, they
they
had
gave us
like the place
chocolate milk, bro, with everything.
Yeah, I never used to do chocolate milk. That was abomination, bro. Like, I knew from a
I
young
couldn't do
age.
regular. I couldn't
I
do
knew from
regular
a young
milk with
age
pizza.
not to do the chocolate milk, bro.
Nah, bro. Chocolate milk. I had to do the chocolate milk. I couldn't do
I
regular milk.
actually used to do back
I
then.
could do some cup.
I don't drink milk now, but I used to do my household was always 2%ers.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Same.
The God
Like
body
hope
out here. You know what I mean?
we look after this.
Yeah, the two
Uh,
percenters. We used to be the 2%ers. Well, I forgot what color cap was it, like green
It
cap
was
or
a
something?
green. It was red was whole. Blue was
Blue.
one. Blue was one, and then 2% was green. Sometimes no blue.
What
2% was blue, and then green was 1%.
green was rough. The 1% is rough. Like, are you drinking 1% milk, bro? Just drink water, bro. Like, what are you really doing here? Like, what do you like? Just drink a cup of water, man. Go to the water. Go to the
I think I
water.
found over there. I think I saw a comedian sometime one time maybe say a bit where it's like uh 2% milk is like diet milk. Like
It really is.
yeah.
Yeah, but we always used to drink 2% milk. I think it's probably because it was cheaper.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know, but my mom used to always give us 2% milk from
New York
from
school, bro. We
from
I was
always
I was a free school lunch person.
too. I was
So
always free.
in the summers, those
Summertime
sun
too,
cups, we used to steal the sun cups, the cardboard juices.
bro.
And you had
Summertime,
two gulps, and them shits was done.
the little remember the little orange juice that'll always be frozen?
Yeah, those are the sun
Uh,
cups.
bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. My whole degeneracy, even post high school, I would go to the summer school. If I'm by a school
You pull up.
on degenerate hour, like, I'm pulling up, bro. I'm getting me this
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever they got for me, you know what I mean? Like, give give me your Dole peaches in the cu
Everything. Yep,
in the
little
cup,
cup.
straight sugar water,
It's like a little thick,
like
a little thick with
syrup,
the yeah. Nah, but
syrupy.
that was such a like if you grew up in New York, you definitely know what we're talking about. Like, so my thing was we had the PAL street blocked off right in front of the school during the summer. So we would do PAL, and then PAL obviously was free, so you had all the free events, knock
Mhm.
hockey, all that shit. And then the free lunch was right there. And then my godmother and my godparents lived on that same block. So they would take care of us during the summer. So for me, it always felt like I had a backyard, and then I always went and got free lunch. And it felt like I was so unsupervised because they would just let me run because the street was always blocked off. You had met all the high school kids that would work PAL or do, summer youth
Yeah.
will be there, but all they're doing is just like trying to bag each other, not looking at us. Like, we they wouldn't give two shits about it. As long as we were not fighting, they would not give two fucks, bro.
I used to do I would be in summer school, you know, how you doing?
Hey,
In high school, I was in summer school veteran, man. I was going to school year round, smart as fuck right here. But I would go to the elementary school by my high school after finishing school to go get these free lunches part 2s.
you had
Part
to,
due
bro.
part dues, you know what I
You
mean?
had to, bro. What would you say was your favorite school lunch?
You know, pizza's up there.
It was
I was
the oval one or
a
the
fan of the pizza. Yeah, I was a fan of the pizza. The
okay,
ones that look like
like a track, like a
yeah, like a racetrack. Like the meme I sent you guys the other day. That was
you
pretty
do.
well. I honestly can't remember much. Oh, they had burgers in the aluminum foil bag,
Yes.
right?
So that was
Yeah,
my favorite. My favorite was
that was
cheeseburgers.
talk about not frying something. That burger was put in that bag and put in the
It's
microwave.
steam. It was just
Steam.
in that big steamer and then just
Yeah,
gone. So those were my favorite. My favorite was the burgers with the
I
cheeseburgers.
can't really remember much other. Uh,
They would have some pasta sometimes it would be nasty. Some like ravioli. Um
the ravioli was
yeah.
horrendous.
Uh
But ravioli did nothing to me, bro. Is you
it
get your
was
2 or 3 raviolis, a bite and a half each, it's gone, and I'm still
yeah, it was
hungry.
that
Oh, and they
nasty.
would give it to you with like the burger bun, right?
Oh yeah, the chili, like
Oh, the chit
yo, the
sloppy
sloppy
Joe.
Joe. Yo, they
Not
would
sloppy
hype
Joe,
that shit.
sloppy Joe is
Nah, bro, they would
banging.
hype that shit up. They would hype that up. Like all the like, like you get the people that work the lunch breaks and shit. They
Yeah.
would try to hype it up because you're a kid, so like I'm like, nobody wants fucking meat and sauce on bread. Like,
At 10:45 in the morning.
I'm like, what?
I had lunch senior year, and I think sophomore year, half of sophomore year, 4th period. Like,
Oh
bro,
yeah, that's rough. Yeah, you still like
bro,
almost breakfast. Your mind is still in breakfast.
I would show up to school 3rd period. You know what I mean? Like, I just woke up an hour
Yeah,
before eating
you
sloppy
go to homeroom.
joes. I woke up an hour I was in bed an hour ago, and I'm eating sloppy joe right now, bro.
Yo,
And then you can't take a shit to school.
no,
Like, you get
not that
booked
early.
to
Not
get
that
booked if
early.
you oh, they taking a shit. Hey, yo, you know, like,
Because bro, because technically, attendance in third period is official attendance.
that's
So,
I would their period.
if you go first or second and you like try to take a shit, Pete, then you got everybody hanging out in the bathroom because they're cutting class. So you're gonna
Yeah.
get fucked with. Nah, you know what the game changer was when they put that Snapple machine in the
That's
lunchroom.
the Fruitopia? Remember
Yeah, the
Fruitopia
Photopia. Yeah.
have, like, that little thing where you could buy, like, a cookie, a pretzel.
Um, our junior high school had vending machines, and our high school
Not
had
vending
vending
machine.
machines.
So my high school had,
A little
a
store.
cage in the cafeteria.
No, we didn't have a store. We had so
I wouldn't call it a store because they sold, like, 4 things. They sold a
okay.
cookie, they sold a pretzel, they sold, yo, I wanna say that was probably it, to be
I
honest.
probably that's that. It what, bro? We went to New York public school, bro. Like,
I feel like there might
let's
have been one more thing in there, and that's it.
let's stop
But they
acting like
had
our meals were
vending machine.
extravagant.
They had Fruitopia first before they went to Snapple.
Yeah,
It was Fruitopia.
nah,
That
it
was,
was
like, crazy. Like, how y'all
mad
letting
sugar, mad sugar, mad
at
sugar,
that?
bro. Just mad sugar.
Yo, it's crazy how we were like, goddamn.
Oh, I got one more thing I want to bring up and see
And then they
if you
wonder why we're like this.
exactly.
They
I want
wonder
to
why
ask you
we're
this.
eye experts because we've been fucking eating horrendously
So
since childhood.
if you look at the videos of like Japan early like schools, like for the kids, the way their lunches are healthy and cooked and actually like prepared by like an actual meal, and then us are just like, "Pff, here's your tray." I have one more thing I want to bring up with about our history with school lunches, and then we can move on to this horrendous
I
fucking
got
Sunday. Um, did you ever do the tickets in high school?
yeah, because
Because if you
you
like
got
it
like free
depending on like yeah,
yeah,
so
you
like
get
if,
a yeah.
yeah, so yeah, like one color meant you had to either pay, and then another color was that you had the full free,
But like
bro.
the copay was like 25 cents or 50 cents.
Yeah,
The
it's like
co
how rough, how crazy was that? You get two tickets. I remember getting the ticket book the first day of school, and then you get two. You get the breakfast ticket, and
yeah,
then your lunch ticket.
lunch.
And you know what's crazy though? I would forget that ticket book every so often. They would always be mad. The dude at the lunch would always have tickets. I'm like, "God, I'm just gonna go and get yours. Like, can I get a ticket?" Bam.
Or
It don't matter.
I'd be like, "Ma'am, you see me here every day begging for food."
Yeah. Like,
If
you're
I don't
making
have
me pay 25 cents for a
if I
fucking
don't have my because full price was a dollar.
yeah, it's
Think
stupid, bro.
how much money are they really making off us if they're charging us 50 cents? Like, just give us the meal.
And
It
then
you're charging 50 cents. You're already giving me a free Metro card. Like,
yeah,
you already know I'm poor.
it's in the system.
It's
I'm a walking billboard for
thing
help.
about the school lunches. I had like, I so for those who don't know, I was locked up for a little bit back in the day, you know me, how you doing? But the prison food is just seasoned lunch food. And I would just be like, "Yo, this is what we used to eat as kids?" And then I think about, I'm like, "Wait a second, they're literally giving kids prison food."
Look,
Like, I would look at it that way. And it's just like, what's wrong? How backwards are we as a society that this is what we're giving, like, kids? Because
eh,
it was the same food, you know?
look,
It's the same
you
thing.
know, we
It's all
joke
probably
around.
disco food, you know, like
It is. We joke around a lot of obviously on this pod, and we tend to try to have a good time, but like that's a part of a very large conversation of the school to prison pipeline when it comes to inner city schools, where you're conditioned to eat a certain way because you're expected that in the future you may have to eat like this for the rest of your life. So it's things that are not really spoken out loud
See,
because a lot of
trays.
people don't really.
What got me,
Yeah.
it was the trays.
Yeah.
The prison
So
trays where the food goes on was the same trays. The
like
same
if you
that brown and tan trays that we got in all through 12 years of school,
yeah
public school,
think
it was the same trays.
think about how if you ever watch a movie, right, like say like for instance scary movie, right, the movie like this movie scary movie, yeah. Yes. But like I don't know why that's the first one I thought about, but it's just because they have a lunchroom scene. Um, see how they get their food, right? Like, oh, like you get the tray, and then here's a like you get to choose what fruit you want. You get to choose kind of like what greens you want, whatever. When we used to get our food, it wasn't like that. It was already put in a tray and divided into its section. The stuff that you used to choose was really like what milk did you want, and like what fruit maybe did you get,
Yeah,
but your everything else,
yeah,
you're just
fruit.
yeah, everything else though was already chosen for you and put in its place. That's like,
Yeah,
no, this is what you're eating. We have no other choice unless you're a vegetarian with a doctor's note, like you have dietary restrictions, like by and you have to show proof. Then you get something else. Other than that,
and
it's not.
and now as an adult flying on airplanes, it's the same fucking food on the airplane.
Nah,
I had chili con carne, bro, chili con carne.
you're not first class, bro. You're not first class, bro. You gotta
Chili
gotta get that premium. You gotta ask for that
bro,
premium.
Qatar Airways, when I went to the World Cup in Qatar,
Yeah.
Qatar Airways, I was like, "Yo, this," and I wasn't on me, bro. I was still like, "This is some good ass food they giving out here, buddy." But when I ran out Copa Airlines, Copa Air, just because the meal was free, the chili con carne, I was like, "Bro," I used to not go to the mess hall when I was locked
Yeah.
up, avoid
You told
eating.
us that, yeah. When you told us about the story.
But like, now it's like, I have to eat this because 'cause
You
I'm
have to
starving
eat it.
because you didn't let me bring my food into the
You're not
plane.
gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. You had to. Nah,
Listen,
bro.
man, you know what what if I had a chance to redo the day? Today would have been a good day to stay home.
Yes. Today, Sunday.
Yesterday, I guess.
Well, yes, yeah. But
Yesterday.
when you guys listen to this, yeah, yesterday,
Yeah.
Sunday, April 6th was it was a lot, man. It was a lot. Today was a lot. Start us off. Start us off with the day, man.
So, we got to the bodega about the same time.
Yo, did we time that kind of nicely? We kind of
Kinda
timed
awkward.
that little. That was. I wouldn't call that awkward. That wasn't awkward. That was just divine timing. I
You know?
come from uptown for to take the train, and I got out. This is the first time I ever got out through the tunnel on 161 because you could get out through the underpass.
Mhm.
I didn't get out through under the train, so I took a different route to get to Bodega. So when I saw you from the distance, I was like, "Hey, I timed that nicely," because we literally got to the Bodega right at the same
Same
time.
time, yeah, we got to the bodega same time, and when we walked into the bodega, how early was that? Was that,
I want
uh,
you 12, 4,
40 40 about?
40,
45?
45. Yeah,
So this is, um, roughly an hour before the march,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Roughly. Bro, it felt like it was 6 hours before the march when we walked back there.
I thought I was late.
It was like
Like I
7
thought I was late.
There was, like, 12 people there. You know how early it was? Like, how low not I won't say the vibe was bad off, but how, like, low energy it was, that the music wasn't blasting. It was, like, Sunday morning levels music. You know what I'm saying? Like, Imma be conscious not to be too loud because it's a Sunday
Mm.
morning.
You got
But
the neighbors upstairs type
yeah,
of shit. Yeah,
just chill as a like, a little brunch, little chill, relaxed Sunday, lazy Sunday. Because the music wasn't, like, obnoxiously loud or loud, period, like how it can be, how it got to at one point, but
yeah. The music is
walk
supposed to be the background right now.
it was
The
like
music
cocktail hour at
is
a
cocktail hour. Yes, you get the hors
yeah,
d'oeuvres. We got
yeah,
little small plates, little finger foods.
yes, and the
That's
music
our
is just
food.
like music is just background
Yeah,
ambiance.
lots of pastelitos. No sandwiches yet.
You know what? I forgot to eat an empanada because When I got to the stadium, I was like, "Ah, I coulda used an empanada." Like, I really could've,
Um,
and I was upset at myself that I didn't get one, or like a butter roll or something, like something to
oh,
hold me down. I
yeah.
just it just blew my mind to get something to eat. I just
You
forgot.
was because you was moving and dealing, you know. You got I knew you had yeah, that's why I teed it up because I knew you was out here with the best 10 years of our lives, scars, you
You
know.
know?
Uh
Be out here, you know?
Wait, flip it around, flip it around, flip it around. There you go. I was telling um Carol that I like how the trophy came out. Like the stitching is really nice. Where new scars out, hit up Sanchez on that one.
So,
Uh
but still, like, the energy, not the energy, the vibe was like, you in the bodega, there's not a lot of people in there.
no.
You already know it's a Sunday, you already know it's a day game, and it's like, "Oh, today's gonna be one of those days where the crowd isn't gonna be great, it's gonna be, a small crowd."
Yeah,
Like,
it's just different. Those now you don't want to say off. It was just that you just knew it was gonna be like a light day. Like it's gonna be like a day people kind of maybe hang back.
yeah, sure.
Like in a way. Just like you know what today we're gonna be like.
Or people maybe show up not for the pregame activities
Mhm.
and just show up for the game,
Yeah.
because it is Sunday. The weather forecast was kinda like, "Hey, it might be chilly and it might rain," and it turns out neither one of those things happened.
Remember we
It
moved to the under the tarp for a little bit?
for 45 seconds, bro, and it was like a slightest of slight
Yeah.
drizzle, and at one point, the sun came out, it got humid, like, unzipping the jacket, like, that's
We
how,
felt
like,
everything. We felt everything. I had a
I
fucking
I
bubble
felt like
and
I was, like, getting I felt, when you had COVID, like,
you're
your
going through every single symptom.
yeah, all the symptoms going on, and it's just a
Cold
fucking
sweats, hot sweats,
it's just a
shivers,
it's Sunday in spring of New York, you know?
something like that. But that essentially was really the how the bodega started, really, like,
Yeah, and then when it was
going
time
to
for the
that.
march, it was like, I was, someone asked me, "Should we still have the march?" I'm like, "The march, I think, should be always happening
Hold
no
up,
matter what."
because
It was just concerning how little people it would be there, like, I was like, "Oh, no, the march is not gonna have nobody." It would just be, like, the people in the bodega, and there's not even that many people in the bodega to be like, "Alright, we're gonna carry this over."
son, I wanna, cause the thing that really threw me off to begin the day was you had something for me,
Shout out to
and
my sister.
shouts to Jed, cause
My sister was like, "Yo," I saw something in her room that I from the other day that I was there, and I was like, "Can I grab some of this for the homies?" And she's like, "Yeah, take take some." And then she goes, "You know what? Take a lot."
and
And I hit up the homies,
a lot you
and
carry, bro.
the only one who I could really give it to was you. And I grabbed, m I don't know,
Just
50, a
he
shit
said,
ton of,
"What?"
put them in the bag, and I was like, "Alright, Yusuf," you
It
know?
just said, "Here you go," and I'm like, I was thrown off because I was like, "The fuck are you giving me?" I'm like, "Oh shit."
It looked like a
I didn't
poop bag.
and dead ass, honestly, I thought you were just giving me garbage, like, sometimes, fucking throw, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
being an asshole, just like, "Here you go, throw this out." And I was like, oh, shit." I didn't remember, I was like, "Hey, it came in handy," because it made sure that all the fucking ridiculousness that was happening on the field, I forgot about it later on. But, nah, I wanna at least give a shout out to Jen. Appreciate you, and
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah,
the
hooked it up. Uh,
gift. 'Cause a boy is needed. I'll say this without getting into too many details about my weekend. Jen played a very big role in the way my weekend, uh,
shout out to
transversed. The shouts out to your sister, man.
my sister. She is the real ones. We had lunch yesterday, which was nice.
A
Yeah, we went out for lunch with my moms. I was like, "Hey, let's go out for lunch." And, we tried this new Ecuadorian restaurant actually that we saw, I saw like a reel on Instagram, and
I feel
I've had
influenced.
I was influenced. They got me.
They
And you
got
know what?
it's worth it?
I'm I'm gatekeeping.
Oh, shit, okay. Alright, you
It
gotta the
it was good, bro. I
hell
was
yeah,
genuinely surprised. I was like, because when the
alright,
food landed in front of me,
yeah.
just the smell brought me back to Ecuador. And I
Ah,
haven't had that feeling smelling food, like Ecuadorian food,
yeah.
here in such a long time. And I go to Ecuadorian restaurants regularly, and it was like, no, this literally just like brought me
Alright, so I
right back.
we gotta go one of these days, we gotta go there.
Listen,
Gotta go.
I'll take anybody. I ain't just telling you this.
Man, but nah, alright, but
Yeah,
obviously
so the march, yeah, so we started
yeah,
heading towards the march, and I was like I said, I was genuinely a little bit concerned. I'm like, because there wasn't that many people in the bodega,
mhm,
and in the march, there was a people. What really helped was that at stands where the meetup is for the march, there was already some people there already.
yeah.
So that was comforting seeing. All right, there's people who bypassed everything else and went straight to the meetup
Yeah, because
location.
somebody had asked, like, they're like, people kind of already know that there's another sanction match, but people were asking, like, "Oh, were there going to be drugs for the march?" And I generally didn't know because I, you figured
Question. It's a
I,
fair question to ask.
the fair question, you just don't know if they're not going to be in the stadium. Maybe they didn't bring them. This person didn't know what the logistics was of the drums, and I was like, no, because those drums normally are in the stadium. This is other drums are coming for the march, and then that's when. But I didn't know, and then, but when we got to the corner, that kind of like was like, oh no, you see, they're right, they're all there because a lot of the drums are.
Like I don't say relief, but it was comforting to see
Yes, for
that
sure.
the march, no matter what size of the people was be there, it was still gonna go through.
Yeah.
And yeah, the march was marching. Was it one of the best marches we've had? No. Was it one of the worst ones? No, either. No, either.
Honestly, yeah, I think we had two banger marches to start this year, and I think it's just when you go set that tone really high, uh, you kind of want to ride that wave all the time, and you're not always gonna get to that point. It's like, but it wasn't like it was bad. It was just again the day. Just we kind of knew the vibe was gonna be like small but mighty.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But
I
I do. There was what you call it? Uh, within the march though, I felt like the the plane was at least very like it sounded loud. It wasn't like it was like a lot like little bit of players. Like the drum
no,
side
no, no, no,
was pretty
I
packed.
think the part of the music part, and like I said, it was a good march. It wasn't a bad march. I wouldn't consider it bad or mid or nothing. It was a good march. It was
Yeah.
good. It's just I would you kind of get used to like the last two marches having the people wise, like the
Yeah.
quantity of people
It
is
got big.
and I'm not saying this march was small either because I don't think you consider it small, but it was smaller than the last two, which were massive.
Yeah.
You know?
Also,
But that also was a reflection of what we were gonna see for like, a foreshadow of what we were gonna see inside the stadium as well as a
yeah.
reflection. Like, you already know, okay, so inside the stadium, it might not be full.
Yeah.
Most likely, it's not gonna be full because the people aren't around to at 2 pregame destinations, there's not the people that you would expect,
Yeah.
that you would want.
Also, I want to bring this up when it comes to the march now because uh and I'm gonna get confirmation next week. Next time we have a march by Yankee Stadium. But this is the second time that I hear it be yelled out. We have 15 minutes, and I want to say it's kind of cool the fact that we've been able to work that if we've been able to work that out as a fan base to have that block really closed off with no interruptions for those 15 minutes because if anybody that's taken a that bus throughout like Yankee Stadium when Yankee games are going on, it is a mission for those buses. Like you're waiting there for a minute. Like traffic in that area is crazy
I
during
think
any kind of event.
the first game of the season where there was just bus after bus.
Yeah.
bus, which really interrupted the beginning of the march. Like, it really killed the first stages of the march. Like, it was just like, I think it was like 4 or 5 buses back to back to back in both directions
Yeah.
that just kept killing the
So
the 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 thing. So, like you're saying, if somehow it was arranged where there is like a gap in buses where it's like, "All right, go, we're gonna hold off the buses, but you get this time, and we gotta keep it moving."
yeah,
That's really good. That's a great thing.
you got to make that 15-minute set got to be hard body karate from minute one.
Mhm.
Which is, I guess it's kind of like also if it can limit us because it's like damn, you know, you can't allow it to for people to funnel in because by the time you may be hearing that there's a march, unfortunately it might be further along because we only have 15 minutes. But that just goes to in the future marches. If you guys are hearing this and you're not, maybe you don't go to the marches, come in because we got 15 minutes to make it the loudest and the most rowdy it can be.
And it's always cool because once the march starts, you could tell a train has arrived because it's like
Yeah.
a a swath of people, join in from the front.
You get people recording immediately, and they're like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Ooh,
Yeah.
you see the flares, you see the everything, the smoke bombs, but it was pretty cool.
Yo, are you planning a move and seeking a reliable, veteran owned company to handle your belongings with care? Well, look no further than Tri State Marines Moving. Founded by a Marine veteran, Christian and his platoon bring discipline, commitment, and the strength of the core to every job. Whether you're relocating your home or office, need packing and storage solutions, junk removal, or even power washing and Mother Nature cleanups, they got you covered. Serving the tri state area with pride and professionalism, they ensure a seamless and stress free moving experience. Listen, I'm not just reading the advertisement here. I actually used these guys a couple months ago and everything turned out great. Everything was placed where we wanted. The best part was nothing was broken. So trust the strength of the Marines for your next move. All their info is found on Instagram, which is at TMM_914. Also, tell them Boop sent you. Tri State Marines Moving for all your moving needs.
But, like, once we got inside the stadium, it was the, national anthems, there was, like, 17 people. It looked like the USA, Canada game.
Yeah. Well, that's because a lot of people ended up going back to the bodega after the
No, but after the ball, yeah, but still, like, once the game started, there was nobody there still.
yeah,
Like,
it's
stadium-wide, it was
overall, yeah,
during that national anthem, there was nobody there.
yeah.
Nobody, no.
You you know, who is that? The Soccer View Radio. They post the percentages of the like how full is the stadium to the capacity to it,
Okay.
and I think the list goes to like top 12 of games where we don't make like I think there's only what like 15 games in the
I wonder
season.
what was the announced attendance for did they have an announced attendance?
No, not yet.
No, I don't see it. It was I they in stadium, there must have been no more. They might not even. I would be surprised if it cracked 10,000, bro. In stadium.
Ah,
Because around the stadium was kinda bare, bro, throughout the whole game.
it, you, it's
12.
10,000.
Yeah, bro.
I
I
want to
looked
say
the
they're gonna.
I looked
I
the
think they're
announced
gonna
attendance.
announce 11.5. I think they're gonna announce
No,
11.
no, they're gonna announce, like, 18, 17 or
If
something.
they announce 18, then they must be. They nah, nah.
Yeah, 1,000%, bro.
I can be fooled, but I'm not stupid. Like, don't please don't say 18. Like, because that's not working. We're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna try to find it on Spot Mob.
I looked on Five It's not on there.
Is that on
It,
there?
no, like they haven't. They're gonna release that like on some like last minute nonsense. It's gonna be put into the on like the app later on when no one's looking.
'Cause it's not on the, MLS app.
No, but yeah, it's I'll say this today. I don't know what if 3 p.m. on a Sunday is gonna work out for NYCFC this year because man, if we play like this going forward until new signings come in, we're gonna have. I forgot what year was it. Was it 20? Was it 22? Or yeah, it might have been, I think, 22, man. When we hit a bad stretch and attendance just dipped. We might be on that wave a little bit if we keep playing like this.
22, the year after we won the cup, attendance went down.
No, I forgot there was a stretch. I don't. It could
Maybe
be 22 or
23?
23. Could be 23. I don't.
23.
But
I
there
would
was a
say
stretch, bro.
yeah, when we couldn't win the game to save our lives in 23.
Like
There was a moment there.
it was
We
just
have
like
another Sunday game coming up, um, at City Field, Sunday at 3,
yeah.
May 4th, Sunday, May 4th.
City Field might be different because people take it probably like as drive-in tailgate type shit, but who knows? But it was small. It was small. I don't know. I
We
could
have another Yankee Stadium game against Chicago Sunday at 3, May 25th. Is that Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend?
no. What day? Say that again.
Sunday, May 25th.
Yeah,
That is
Memorial Day
Memorial
weekend,
weekend. There's gonna be 7 people there.
bro. I'll tell you this right now.
Beach boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, NYC. That's
See at 3. I don't know. Sundays at 3 might be rough for us, man. Y'all gotta
a lot. A lot of people might have. A lot of people gonna visit the shorties at Far Rock. Right there. Lots of people. Lots of people. Nah, bro. But let's get. I guess let's get into it. Just because, unfortunately, we have to fucking talk about this.
Unfortunately, because it's
Uh,
fucking 2 in the morning.
yeah, exactly. We played Minnesota. The Loons came to town, and it seemed like NYCFC. I'm not gonna say they weren't up for this one. They just could not find the rhythm in the first half. Sanchez, take us through this lineup.
We got Matt Friesen goal. From left to right on the back line, we have Kevin O'Toole, Burke Risa making a start, Thiago Martins, and Micha Ilinic on the right. We got Justin Hack and Kean Parks. Odd no start from Johnny Shore. So we got Hannes Wolf, Maxi Morales, and Julian Fernandez on the right. And up top, our main man, Alonso Martinez, as a striker.
Bam, bam, bam. So would you say your biggest surprise was just Risa?
I think Risa, because I had figured that he had lost his starting spot to Justin Hack, in a sense,
I
you
think
know, and
yeah.
because
I wrote
Johnny
I'm
Shore
afraid.
has also been starting a lot recently, and I would have thought we would have had that continuity.
Yeah, also
So
that was I'll agree there. That was a surprise to see him in the starting lineup. And a surprise because I'll say I was one of those that came in a little late into the game because I had some friends that were visiting for the first time. To have first time watching a match. Um and so I was
oh,
walking them in
they picked them.
the worst day. They picked the worst day to come. So we're walking in, we're getting to the gate and we hear the announcer go. It just there was a quiet. Cause I was waiting for the hey baby. So you could normally hear the hey baby. So I was waiting for it, and all I hear is just this quiet. I was like, "What happened?" Then I hear the goal from Minnesota in the first. Well, they said second minute, but it's really the
Second
first
minute.
minute.
Well, it was
And then I was
1-5, so second
yeah,
minute.
and I was just like, "Yo, did they just score?" And I was like, "What a way to start this fucking match!"
I was walking into the section,
Like down
going down the stairs in the section, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to figure out the lineup. That's what I'm
yeah.
trying to do. I'm trying to figure out the lineup, and I'm looking. I'm looking at the players. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to figure out formation in my head. This isn't that, and then wait, did they just score? I just turned right back around, bro.
you
I
put
was
the
like,
you put the Homer Simpson dad
I was
like doop, doop, doop.
let me go back to where I was when we were 0-0.
So, that is I don't know what to think about that because all right, initially I came in now I want to say guns blazing, hating on Risa up for it, but kind of more or less blaming his sort of lack not only lack of speed but just positioning. But you, my friend, kind of called it first viewing.
We reanalyzed it while we were prepping for the pod. We had the game going, and I immediately thought it was offside.
And then we did our own VAR. We went back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth. We looked at the field, the lines on the fields. Every like
We got
maybe like with the you see the pitcher's mound, you see the Adidas sign, you see the line, you see Burke Reese, you see, look with the balls. You know,
we're getting our own angles.
North and south, you see how the screen is pitched that way, so you gotta assume that the camera's facing to the right of it. All these things.
We were researching mowing patterns.
The mowing patterns, bro. The vertical, the zigzags, the patches of the infield throwing off the lines is just
everything. Oh man.
We
real quick, speaking of, let's show viewers why the field was becoming a little bit of concern at that point too, just because
I saw this in the supporter page. Patrick Shields, Patty, he posted this picture. It looks like a divot, but you had said that's just the painted foul line, the baseball foul. But I would like to argue this during the game, watching the play when we were watching it. It does look like it's a little lower. It has there is a divot to it.
I kept trying to see Freeze's footing whenever he stepped over it, but I couldn't get too much to it. But back to the goal. You convinced me. I firmly believe that. I think he's offsides.
I think he's offside, and I think well, and the same conclusion we came up with is that it couldn't have been reversed because the camera angles aren't favorable. Because why? We play in the baseball stadium, and I bet you if like Andrew Wiebe or whoever from MLS does one of those review shows, and that's brought up, was he onside or offside? They might come up to the same conclusion that he looks offside, but due to the camera angle is not being parallel to the field, perpendicular or whatever parallelogram is. Just because I went to school year round doesn't mean I was paying attention and
school lunches, brother. School
lunches and the free breakfasts. You know, what was your favorite breakfast?
Oh, my favorite breakfast. We didn't really hit that like hot breakfast, bro. We just doing Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, cereals. Dang, cereals like it's like
you crack that open. That's all. That's all. Yeah, you made me like a sausage patty one day. I don't know.
Oh, the sausage patty.
Yeah, that's it. You got like McDonald's hot breakfast for
that shit. The sausage patty was like spicy, bro.
Yes,
spicy. I had a little sizzle to it.
Yo,
yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yes, I remember the sausage patty.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
hey. That's crazy.
That's
anyway. But yeah, it really is like fortunately we don't have even in the most like on even like the most even angle you can get in the camera, it's still gonna be a little skewed. So there's no clear and obvious for the reversal. So you kind of have
and they didn't even review it on the field for more than a few seconds. They just looked at it once and probably just said like, all right, it's gone. But they must have been some type of a question because in the broadcast, a whole 7-8 minutes later, they went back to it in the broadcast.
Yeah,
so that means there was some doubt. There is some question about it, and I feel like
also the linesman, bro. The linesman
is like a whole
so far behind, man.
2-3 yards behind the last defender.
Yeah, like I don't understand how you played that because essentially the line you are the linesman. You run with the back line. Why are you?
And that's probably why it wasn't questioned as hard on the field. Also because the linesman was like, "Nah, onside."
Yeah, I can't.
I was gonna say I couldn't. They caught me lacking too.
Exactly.
You know what's?
But yeah, unfortunately, while he was off, I wouldn't say he was off, but we got to take it because it's they counted the goal. Risa still gets beat on the foot race there, and it's kind of sad seeing like why. He was like easily beat, and clearly the play was going towards your guy. Like there's no, you are marking their forward. Where else are you? You're the only guy there. So why
the middle? Yeah.
So it let's say it started off from the very beginning. Reese's day started off a little rough, and I think it's gonna get rougher going forward from there. So, um, I think first half was we can kind of like put it in a nutshell. It was rough, man. This is one of the I think it's one of the rougher halves that we've seen this not only this year, but I think even going into last year. We were not in this match
Not in the first
in
half.
this half, not in this
We
first half. Sorry.
we the second goal, we gave up a second goal shortly after, like not shortly, but like in the 28th minute, or right just before the 30th minute mark.
Mhm.
Uh, well, going down 1-0, I was like, yo, this could get ugly. In my mind, I'm like, might not be pretty because going down 1-0 that easily, that early is very concerning. That's also, I think, a little bit on coaching, like, hey man, you guys, let's get fucking be ready out there. Giving up a goal that early shows a mental lapse, or as besides the physical one.
Mhm.
But then
It
the second goal
Yeah, I don't
off a
know.
set piece.
Bro, but it's just not only just as a set piece, it's just the lazy defending that happens in that set piece. And
But that's just not lazy. It's also mental because how does nobody, not even the coaches on the sideline, yelled out, "Hey man, there's a guy at the top of the box wide open." There's like no
True.
one. There's no one 10 yards close to him. There's no one near him.
And I know he hasn't played in the East in a while, but Will Trapp is not in MLS, he's not a scrub. Will Trapp is a respected player.
I think he's had some burn with the national team as well.
Yeah, he used to get
Uh,
he used to be
yeah,
part of that
he,
MLS era of like big MLS
yeah,
era of the team of
he got in some minutes. But either way, it doesn't matter who it was.
you still gotta mark him.
It you can't leave nobody wide open,
Yeah, and
super wide open, at the top of the box like that. Like you
yeah,
say, like in the at the D,
the year. I mean, hey, bro, if we're gonna go Ayo out, we're gonna Ayo all the way out.
the
If you
baby.
find yourself, Terrence Howard Terrence Howard is wilding out. He said that he can confirm if you went to a Diddy party, you lost your
You was
manhood.
Yes, you was getting booty banded out.
You was diddling, diddling. Oh my
Yes.
god,
So,
crazy.
diantre.
But we did our own VAR again, and we saw that the only people that jumped were Julian and O'Toole. But
O'Toole.
the problem with those
Yeah,
two jumping though is that they're also marking the same guy. So they're
yeah.
both
It was
like
like 5 players bunched up in the middle. It was O'Toole,
yeah,
was, Fernandez, there was Kean Parks, there's Thiago Martins, and there was, Burke Reese,
yeah.
all bunched up by the penalty spot area, all 5 of them. And
Nobody up top, and then I don't know. He finds the gap. Freeze gets a leg on it somehow, but
I feel like
it's
he
just
probably
deflects.
didn't see it fully see it. He might not have seen the shot itself, like,
Yeah.
the kick itself on the ball, and he just saw, like, the traveling aspect of it.
You think it was deflected because you think
It didn't
it
look like it. It didn't look
okay.
the ball looked like on the replays that they showed, which weren't great replays,
Uh,
there was not the one replay that you see from behind the goal was because I was saying, remember, I was like, "I hope they show a replay from behind the shot so you
yeah,
can
like
see the angle of
yeah.
the ball." They didn't have that shot. They don't have that angle. They show one from behind the goal, which you could kinda see where it's like it clearly just goes straight through, and that's nothing. How does it just go straight through?
It
The one reacted in fast enough to see that is fine, but y'all
uh,
you just need
also
one of y'all to react.
you saw in the shot, you see Keaton kind of just drop to like put his hands on his shoulders. I mean, on his knees. It kind of just like drops a little his head, and it's like, how the hell? It's just
It really was like a how the hell that ball just made it through to everybody.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
one of those things that was
it
just
was that moment. And then the we once again, we VAR'd it. I don't think our penalty was a penalty, bro.
yeah. It's
It's hip to hip contact. It's a 50-50 ball. The ball is ahead of Alonso, and you're going back. And he doesn't chop him down. Like, he doesn't put his leg in front of him to trip him. It's literally they're just bumping each other.
Alonso
And
gets to the ball just slightly before he does.
yeah, and Alonso, to be fair, he sold it really, really extremely well. He sold it like it mattered, which is good. Like I guess you need those type of dark arts to get something going for you guys. And it goes to VAR, a 4-minute plus VAR
Oh,
check. Like,
even the second goal was VAR'd.
which was weird. Like, why did they get VAR? Like, he
Who?
clearly
No
not.
one.
It doesn't
Yeah,
touch anybody. Maybe they were checking to see if it touched somebody.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's
Touched one of their players.
touch.
You know? So then Alonso finally gets awarded the PK after 4 or 5 minutes of VAR check.
Yeah,
Respectfully, the St. Clair, the Canadian Minnesotan goalkeeper, he had some dark arts in him as well. He was
Mm.
CONCACAFing out there, was talking smack to Alonso the whole time.
think about it, bro. These are CONCACAF rivals now.
And I think that had a little bit to do with this guy missing, because so much time had passed and
Got
so
frozen.
much dialogue happened where you just froze them out. Maybe I don't think it should have happened, but maybe the conversation should have been had. Like, should someone else kick it at that point?
So funny you say that because I noticed that at a point, um, so actually, hold up, this is, I did by this point a lot of stuff has happened because the person that is in this conversation was subbed in. So before this even happens,
Yo,
yo, so
randomly,
this is
that's
where I
how
said
Jensen flexing muscle.
he said. So I said first minute, Berkwies's day started wrong. 40th
Yes,
minute, we start noticing that hey, there's people
warming up.
suiting up, and I'm like, who's coming in at this time? And I see Bakra. I immediately go, fuck my life. Why is Bakra coming in at all? But then I see that Tana is suiting up as well, and I'm like, who's Tana? I'm like, are we going three in the back with like? I could see it because like we're down 2-0. He's probably like, you know what? Dimension. Let's just put all our wings. Let's go forward.
Sure.
Why now? Fuck it. I see that Burke Risa is the one coming off, and I'm not somebody like everybody that listens knows that I didn't grow up as a kid watching sport, but since I've been watching, it's always been like known center backs don't get subbed out like before
Well,
the end of matches
without some
without reason.
yeah.
Yeah, like center backs tend to be the two people that, or at least that they're just there 90 minutes. And Risa coming off in the 40th, man, is very indicative because throughout the first half, he was getting cooked. He looked lost, man. He looked lost. I don't know what was happening. People were already like talking about it there. And but he got swapped out for Tana. We even mentioned that we thought Hackshaw really should have slided in there, and
I thought
Shore should have came in
Right, what was
for
I
Risa.
thought I thought of Burke Reese was gonna come out. I guess Justin Hackett's gonna slide back and bring in Johnny Shore in. Little bit, you get a different look in the defense, and you also get a different look in the midfield.
Yeah.
And at that point in the game, in the 40th minute, we needed something different going on, and that was not the case at all. Like, this guy
Uh,
Jensen basically changed the formation as well. He started playing with two strikers because Burke Risa went in for Julian, who seemed very upset about getting off the field
yeah.
at the 40th minute. That's a big statement, man. Getting subbed off in the first half, not even a
It did.
halftime, in the first half, down 2-0. That's without injury, without a yellow card accumulation, without anything like that. It's like, this is a statement. Jensen is making a statement. Like, whatever he saw that he didn't like, he made sure everybody else knew, like, if you don't play the way we said we were gonna do this, we were gonna play, the game plan was, or whatever, you're coming out. And that is a flex and a half. And I think I can respect that. I can respect that.
I'll take that.
The only
Because
problem is, with that is, like, who
who you
Who you
bringing on?
who you gonna
You
put
can't
on
really
that's
keep.
gonna
You can't do that every week. You know, you can't.
who you gonna put on that's gonna be a better impact player? You
Yeah.
know, like
What I saw, I think with the Julian one, I almost understood it a little bit because he wasn't really doing much. He was. He me think actually. There was moments there in the first half where Maxi was putting in really nice passes. Like Alonso was made a decent run with a good pass. We're just missing off like just a little bit. If you notice Risa is not doing what you want to do, or you're trying to change the formation, do you not wait the 10 minutes, or not even the 5 minutes?
to save the sub window.
Yeah,
I would, yeah. You know what? I would have been like, I would have still accepted the subs at halftime and been like, okay, wow,
yeah.
it would have been impactful. It still would have been, but subbing him out during the first half is like, bro,
I don't trust you.
you can't even get through a half of a game.
To me, that just screams I don't trust you.
And you know what? It's Burke Risa hasn't started much this season. I think he only has one other start. Uh, this is just indicative of him as well. Like you are not, you are not our starting center back. Like you cannot be our starting center back.
It's bad, man. And you were hearing it in the stands, like a little bit, like people were kind of like uh just murmuring, like, "Yo, Risa," like, "Oh my God, Risa," like, I don't, because you could just notice it. You just, you noticed it,
Well,
and
the team got booed off at the halftime.
yeah, it got booed off, and it's the unfortunately it's like the loudest that we were in that first half because the way the team was playing, you kind of saw a little bit of that
I
translated to the
respect it.
stands.
I respect it because the team wasn't playing. They
They
didn't
weren't.
perform at all. But
Yeah.
those last 5 minutes after the subs, it did change the dynamic of the team a bit.
Because he was literally just like, go forward. He's literally just push. Because
Eh,
we even said it, like they started playing a little bit, not necessarily, not fully. I'm not gonna say, because I'm not gonna call it three in the back, but they were a little bit more of a tool sliding back a little bit and then going back into the midfield. Like it was just like a weird. I couldn't really tell what formation he was trying. I just know two in the front, two up top, essentially.
mhm.
Bakar and here and Alonso up top, and that took us to to the halftime. Um, Second half, my brother. Uh,
Well, the penalty miss from Alonso
yeah,
was he freaking rocked that ball. It hit that crossbar so hard that ball almost bounced all the way back to midfield.
yeah.
That's how hard he hit that off the crossbar.
Like we could have gone into the half 2-1. That would I that's that could have
The
been like a little
best
bit
scenario,
good momentum. Yeah,
the best, because I would have built the at that point the lineup had the formation that started clicking a little bit better, and now we're back we back chipped back a goal, so now we have the whole second half to get another goal.
yeah.
Let's it yeah, the dynamic would have changed completely. It would have changed the whole game. It would have changed the entirety of the game. We could have been talking about a victory, out of like just on the
I would
just on
actually,
just on pure momentum. Just on pure
yeah,
momentum, we could have been talking
momentum.
about a victory.
Yeah,
But missing
because
that penalty at that moment, going into the half 2-0 was
is
is demoralizing. Is breaking. It breaks it.
the battle
My heart. So
you gotta say the next part.
say you love me again.
Uh,
Score one of these goals in the half, and we come out the second and score two in the back.
Oh man, it's definitely 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh
it's late.
man, yeah. Well, I mean, second half we come back like
That's what gets you because the whole second half, we're like it's like a different team in a sense.
yeah, and he makes more changes. He brings in Ojeda for Lenich, so he essentially is like telling like he's being very like straightforward. I'm going out swinging. I'm trying to score because you're taking out a right back and for essentially a winger, and you bring in Shore for Hack. So at that point, I know the cliche is throwing the kitchen sink, but he literally was just like go forward, please score. And I feel like we had a better second half than we did the first. We were more into the there, but couldn't finish. And right before the game's over, we get one back on some deflection, and Parks, scores. And honestly, big on Parks for not like stopping his run, because he's the one that starts that with a little bit of a not give and go, but he gives it to Alonso, and then Alonso tries to score from outside. A lot of shots outside the box this game, which is not in our character. Why are we shooting outside the box? Like, we don't have that in our. That's not who we are. And then, but Park sneaks in and then scores. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even people when he scored, people were like, "Oh, we got some time." I didn't feel like we were coming back from this one, man. By that time, I was like, "We are just
I had
what we
conceded.
are."
I had said, well, uh, uh, that one goal didn't show. They didn't make me believe that we would get a second goal.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Uh,
I didn't see it in us. We ain't built like that. We weren't built like that. And I said, good teams at Yankee Stadium know how to hunker down.
Yeah.
I think we're at a point where our team itself benefits more from a bigger field because it allows the space to do things. And so, because when you come to Yankee Stadium, a good team could just park the bus and
Once
completely
they have the
shut off,
lead,
especially with the lead, completely shut off all avenues of trying to get through.
yeah, it's just you can easily play a counter game here. Like, it's just if they're not down, you have to get them early. That's the thing. If you could get a team down early here, they have to.
We could cook. We could cook.
We could,
'Cause
because now they're forced to be in part of the match. They don't
and we know how to hunker down. We know how
exactly.
to dominate our field.
So it's just it sucks, man. Especially out against Minnesota. Like, um, who I mean, they're a West Coast team, but like I don't say we should have beat them, but I feel like we could have came out of this with a draw. And going into this Philly match now, I don't feel confident.
Scary
'Cause
hours coming up.
it's scary, bro. Scary.
Because we got Philly, and then we gotta, you know what? After Philly, we have to beat New England, bro.
Yeah.
Like
We have to
New England, New
pounce
England,
on New England.
New England is at the bottom. Like
We have to pounce on them.
we cannot beat New England when we get to New England in 2 weeks. Because I don't know if we're gonna beat Philly, bro.
Yeah.
Philly's third in the East.
Yeah.
Plus 5 goal differential. These guys, 13 points.
They're working it out. New
They're
coach,
they're
they're figuring it out.
they're clearly a cut above us. Like
Yeah.
they're
And they're
clearly
doing it.
a whole element above us in level. So with Philly coming up, we got them at home. This game is at City Field. Another thing about what's going on right now, we don't have any drums or anything like that for
Yeah.
atmospheric energy. And like today was one of those days where the atmosphere in the crowd was a direct reflection of what the team was giving off. It was on
Yeah.
par for both of them. And both of them, it, they were made for each other today,
Yeah.
right? And and
Something left us desiring more. We could say that.
and you could say that against another good team in Philadelphia, which I'm hearing that they might have drums, their fans.
Really?
Yes,
As a way?
as an away game.
Oh, nah. That's not.
That's the
That's a sad.
word.
That's a sad to the face.
That is the word that I'm hearing. So that with that being said, like, bro, they're gonna cook us, man. And Philly don't like Philly
No.
don't like us as a team. Some of those players on that Philly team were there in 2021. And remember,
Mm.
and then the ones who were 2022. Yo, I hope Johnny Shore 2 foots Kevin Sullivan. Put some respect on your name, kid.
Battle of the teenagers.
Hell,
Oh,
it's not a crime, bro. You know what I mean? There's truancy coming through, bro.
that's right there. That's fine. That's not.
There's two truants.
That's the juvie.
There's two truants right there, you know?
Um, Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see us winning this match.
Difficult
Difficult.
match,
We
and I'm gonna go with the same scoreline as today, 2-1
2-1.
loss.
Yeah,
At
same.
loss. 2-1 loss. I hope we might play a little better. Maybe the change of scenery, for us helps us at this moment. Maybe we need a little flip of the switch.
Pascal's first City game.
Pascal's first City Field game. Maybe so. Let's see if that changes things. The new environment, the new scenery, the different type of grass.
Yeah.
All these things play and gives us a little boost of energy because if we uh, if we don't if we look bad against Philly, it's concerning, bro. It's like you might as well just pack it up for the year, man. At
Because
least until we get some summer signings, because I don't think we're gonna get any signings this month with the
so
transfer window.
yeah, I was just because this game, man, this game kind of just really made it clear we need players
Yeah,
bad. That why
yeah,
rewatching that broadcast, all we kept saying was Maxi looks old on television, man.
yeah, boy.
And it's crazy that he's still able to move like that, but
Playing
it
90 minutes, bro. Week after
he
week is how long could
won't
he? How long is he
he
gonna be
won't
able
make
to?
it past the summer. He won't make it past the summer.
How long exact? And you're clearly not comfortable or not ready, or the kid's not ready to put in Maximo Carrizo in. We
Yeah.
need to sign somebody. If you're not gonna play, you're willing to play Johnny Shore, great. You're willing to put in the other players, the left back that came in, Cavallo. You will the other guy who played. You're willing to put all these guys in, and you're not willing to take out for Maxis. Like then you either are hoping he plays you 90 minutes for the whole year for the next 27 games left, or we're just or we're gonna wait till the summer to sign somebody.
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
it's a true. This one right now, this is where it hurts. Like the fact that you're going into a Philly match, which is very much. I don't know. I know it's technically not a derby, but it's really derby-esque. It's a big match,
It's
rivalry wise,
a rivalry. Both
and
fan bases hate each other. The
yeah,
teams themselves hate each other.
and
Uh,
to go into that match not confident and to not even be confident as in like to win because we could every team can lose on this day, but to not be confident in that we won't even be in it. And right now, it's just like there's just gaps. Everyone has a D. Martins to me is just not a DP. He
too
I
many
don't know what
holes
it is in the roster.
on
Too
our
many holes.
first team, on our starters. We have so many
Yeah.
gaps, so many room for improvement, so many positions that could use an
Too many
improvement
bench
immediately.
players. We have way too many people that belong on the bench are starting 11.
Yes, yes, we don't have our depth is that our lack of depth isn't our substitution. Our lack of depth is that we need better starters.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like some of these players could be impacts off the bench and maybe not starter quality.
Yeah. They yeah. But
Yusuf,
we'll see.
man, I say we get out of here.
Please.
Let's
'Cause
put in the same effort the team did this week and just coast through the week, man. Let's just get through the week.
pretty much because it is what it is. Well, we'll see you guys next week. All right.
Yeah.
Also, if you're getting this far, I want to be very I want to start this now because I'm gonna do this probably every week now. I want to be very uh direct with my intentions with I want to get to at least I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season.
How many
So
are we at right now?
we
The YouTube you're referring to?
on the YouTube, by all means, I'll tell you exactly where we are at. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Sorry, I had this.
Okay.
We are at 541 subs. I want to get to 1,000 subs. So if you're watching this, share it with anybody that you think will just fuck with this. Uh, like it, like leave a comment. I want to see. I want to see some growth, and I want to put it out there. So that's an aim of mine. I want to see us get to 1,000 subs. So by all means, guys, share, do the whole shebang, do all that YouTube niceness.
Yeah, like,
And
subscribe, and keep listening, comments.
yeah, Share
and
it. Share it with your
share it.
girls. We want to have a dope time with more people. And with that,
All right, everybody.
see you guys next week. Thanks for guys
Vaya,
for listening.
vaya con Dios. Good night for
Nos
everybody.
vemos. Vaya en paz.
Good morning.
Some good morning.